Hello, soul family. I was able to have a really good meditation this morning and wanted to share what was revealed to me. And it was really pretty awesome because I saw the blue avian and it had like a helmet on, and it had been, I had been reminded that Corey Good had called the blue avian that he was channeling Ra. And then on another side was the Osiris and Isis, and Osiris, how Isis had put together, couldn't find the phallic piece. I can't say the word because I'll get, bumped off of social media. But, she fastened, she got every single part because he was spread out all over the place. And so she wanted, to have sex with her son who had been cut up. And so how that starts with Ra, though, is you go down through that whole part, and that, she has a son through, the body parts and creating this phallic piece out of gold, and then has Horus, which is also known for Ra, the eye, Ra, the eye. And then I got shown the eye of God that NASA had taken the picture in the solar system, and how so beautiful that is. And it's the eye of God. And it, how so many different ways that we are taught things and shown things, and how, some things are, everything's good because it's for our growth and our expansion. And yet it was just really interesting to see that there's different aspects, right, of how that looks. And so if you're really into, Galactics, here's this blue avian calling himself Ra. If you're into the Egyptian culture, Ra, the eye of God in the sky, and I'm not going to say the religious aspect because that diminishes, really truly who God is. And it's the all-seeing eye. The all-seeing eye. That's what I just kept hearing over and over, is that, creator, source, God, it's the all-seeing eye. And that space that we go in between, between the absolute and that where God is, that space, and where we're at, time, space, or, space, time, whatever you want to call it, I was shown, and I had seen this before, but it's, all these things are just coming together where you're seeing that it's that space, that quiet space, or the dark space, when we're meditating, that's the space that they're talking about for us to get into. That's where, our DNA lives. That's why we're all connected, because initially that's that space. And so we're always working in this dimension, this time frame, this earth, working to get to that absolute space where the eye of God is, where the stillness is so still, that the peace is so peaceful, that there's no way to explain the pure bliss of being in that space, because we're not there yet. Through, sitting and quietly really allowing this information to come to us. And I know it seems really stressful right now, and yet it's super important for us to take this self-care time, that we need to really be selfish about ourselves. And whether you're walking, going on a hike, nature, being around even animals, there is something that opens us up. We just won't allow it. So if you are struggling with meditation or prayer or just sitting there in that space, breathe. Just breathe, right? It's that post I put a couple days ago on social media. So the calming, making sure we're in that space, however we can get there, we need to get there so we get these messages. And I mean, however we can get there, whatever that means for you. So anyways, I just had this, not awakening moment, but it just, how they all lined up and were comparing each other to the all-seeing God, the eye that sees all, that's where we come from, you know, is the absolute. And it's a beautiful space. And, you know, they say the Isis is the mother of all. So that's true. You know, the blue avian being raw is true. God being the creator of all, that's true. All of this is our truth, but some's going to resonate more than something else. And so that's the beauty of free will. And it can change. Don't get stuck on one thing. It can change. If all of a sudden you're reading something and you're like, oh, that resonates, that's just because you're expanding, you're growing in some kind of knowing for yourself. So, namaste.